What's going on, guys? Thanks for watching. Keep calm and game on. We're playing some more Fortnite. So let me just test my audio levels real quick. So give me 1 second. Got to put on my headset, and hopefully I didn't screw things up. Let me just test this real quick. Let me test this real quick. Give me 1 second. Check. Test this real quick. Give me 1 second. Check. Check. Oh, that is way too loud. Check. Testing 1 2 3. Check. Testing 1 2 3. Check. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. Check. Testing 1 2 3 4 5. Testing 1 2 3. Check. Testing 1 2 3 4. Do I sound okay, guys? Is that too loud? Might be too loud. Check. Right there. Maybe that's a sweet spot. Okay, I think we're good. I think we are good, guys. I think we are good. Let me just listen to this real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Somebody just called me. Okay, we're ready. Okay, so if you're watching live, guys, welcome to the stream. I think I got everything sorted out. Pretty sure. All right, so I'm going to hop into some Blitz Royale like we do. Ha! Excuse me. Like we do. Just want to make... I'll only test one more time to make sure my audio is good. Check. Chickity check. 1 2 3 4 5. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. I think we're good, probably. I think we're probably good. Device properties. Turn that down a smidge. Go to 9. That one. Okay, maybe that's a little bit better. Check. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Check. Check. Testing 1 2. Check 1. Check 2. Check 3. Testing 1 2 3. Check. Check. Testing 1 2. Check. Testing 1 2 3 4. We good. Check. Okay, I think we're golden, guys. I think we're ready. We're good. Where's my editing button? Okay. Go. Save. Perfect. Okay, guys, sorry about that, but I want to get the audio set up correctly. But I think we are good to go now. So, gonna pop into that. Stormy, grab the camera for a Lamar Jackson. How you doing, Stormy? Thank you, Stormy, for subscribing, by the way, man. Everybody says that. Like, grab the camera for a Lamar Jackson ad. Welcome, Stormy. Welcome. How you doing, man? La da da da. Welcome, Stormy. Thank you for subscribing, bro. Like that? It's as good as it's getting. What's up, man? How you doing? Hopefully the day is treating you well. And thank you for subscribing, man. Okay, so let's do it. Let's get into it, boys. Where am I jumping out at? Good question. Weapon is constantly reloading. Okay, I can I can dig that. Let's see. I think we're gonna go this way. And try to get this one right here. Excuse me. Okay. What kind of gun is... Do I want to... I don't really want that gun. Whatever. Give me something good. Oh, crap. Where is it? They're gone. And we leveled up. Nice. Don't mind if I do. Leveled up. And there's a guy right over here. Crap. Oh, that, look at my health bar right now, guys. Look at my health bar. Holy crap. What is this? I don't know what that did, but we gotta find some health and we gotta find it fast. Come on, give me something. This will do something for us. Let's get out of here, because we got to get some health pronto. Come on, something, somewhere. One hit, and we are, there we go. That'll work. Okay, there we go, there we go. Okay, let's go in here and see if we can get this kill. Booyah. Oh, we're gonna take this one. Oh, I'll take that one too. Don't mind if I do, thank you. Okay, we need health and we need it big time. I'm playing with channel members at the moment, man, so if you wanna play, you gotta become a channel member. Oh, crap. You're toast. You're toast. I think I want to take this. Oh, crap, bro. Ah, dang. Oh, Lord. They got me. They got me. If you're just joining the stream, guys, welcome to the party. Welcome, welcome. Let's go back to the lobby. I'm going to change my skin. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way, guys. And if you hit the subscribe button, thank you for that. You rock, you rock. Thank you very much. Very nice. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. We are on our way to 8,000 subscribers, guys. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy, I must say. 8,000 subscribers. Do 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 bop 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 boo doo boo da boo doo doo boo doo boo. Who's Skylar? Who is Skylar? Which one of you in chat is Skylar? Let's see here. What do I want to do? I want to do the same thing. Only up Fortnite. Do you fight in this? No, I think you just try to get up to the top, right? Yo, Salem. Am I pronouncing that right? Salim? Salim? Welcome to the stream, man. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Thank you for subscribing, by the way, man. Appreciate you. La da 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 da. I don't think I've ever played this game mode. Maybe once. I bought Only Up back when it was like super popular, and then like within 10 minutes, I refunded it. I'm like, nope, can't do it. Maybe too angry. And I think this is essentially the same thing. It's just a game mode of Only Up. So we'll see how this goes. I'll probably rage quit. But we're just chilling, man. We're playing some Fortnite. You know how it is. Well, you know how it is. You know how it is. Okay, so what do we got to do here? Start. Okay, so let's do it. So what, we got to get up to the top, I guess? Way up there? Oh, goodness. Okay, is there a fast way up? Is there like a bouncy thing over here? Okay, let's see. Whoop. I'm already off to a bad start. I can tell. Why can't I, is there no, like, manual, mantling or anything? Let's go just came from Dorney Park. Never. Is that like a baseball stadium? You ever played this game mode before? Is there not? There we go. There is a mantling mechanic. Okay, well, let's go this way. Perfect. What is that way? I don't know. We're going this way. Jump. Jump. Ah, crap. Well, let's try that again. What's even the point of this one? It doesn't get you anywhere. It does not get you anywhere. Okay, let's try this again. Well. Have you guys ever beat this game mode? Like, is it beatable? Is it beatable or not really? We went that way last time. Go the same way, you think? Do. Yeah, I don't think that way it goes to anything, really. Okay, we jump on the trash can. Jump on this truck. Whoa. That was close. Then we go right up. Oh! This game, guys, this game blows. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. La da 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 dee dee dee. Okay. We're not gonna mess up this time. All the way to the top. Just don't even think about it. We just run. We just run. We just run. Wait, have we got over here before? Oh! Okay, this is new, right? Guess we're going this way. Oh, guys, I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. Oh! Whoa! Norman, how you doing, Norman? How goes it, man? How goes it? Okay, we go this way, and then... Oh! Oh, man, almost lost it. Little basketball hoop going. Okay, what's the best way to go about this, guys? Keep going straight. Can we walk across this? Oh, we better be able to walk across this. Okay. Up the stairs. Oh, crap. Oh. Perfect. What's up there? Oh. If we fall, that's it. I'm not starting over. Beautiful. Okay, now what? Excuse me. Oh my goodness. We got to make our way across these things. This is not gonna be good. Oh goodness. Ah, screw it. Screw it. No. We ain't playing that. Nah, that's trash. That game's trash. We ain't playing that. Nope. Not gonna happen, boyos. La da 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 dee. La da da da. Who is Evil Temptress? Who is that in the chat? Evil Temptress. This person. No idea. We'll try some Blitz Royale again, I guess. If you're popping in, welcome. Giovanni, how you doing, Giovanni? La da 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 dee 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 dee. Let me change my outfit real quick. Go with her. How you doing, man? How you doing? I need some coffee, guys. I stayed up way too late last night. Game found. Alright, let's do it, boys. If you're brand new to the channel, welcome. Glad you're here. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'm playing with members at the moment. If you want to join in, click the link in the chat. And I'll get you right in here. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Who is ESN? Okay, which way we going, everybody? Reload speed, shield passively regenerates. Okay. Passively regenerates. La da 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 dee 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 dee. WWE is pretty good. Haven't watched it in a while, but I've seen it. Give me something good, boys. We're gonna take this. I started to... What about my front page? But then who started to turn off pop-up on my free... Wait, what? What are you talking about? Do. Maybe we grab some of these. Oh, pick up that. Pick up that. And we also pick up that. Nice. Crap. Oh. Then I started not to pop up. Oh, on my recommended page. That's why you gotta turn on notifications, man. You gotta slap that notification button. Ba-da-bow, ba-da-ba-la-da-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-boo, boo-doo-boo, da-ba-li-da-li-doo, boo-doo-boo-doo-boo-boo. Let me see if I can get the chat up on screen. Give me 1 second. There we go. There we go. Now you guys are in the little chat box down there. Da 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 ba da 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 ba da ba 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 da ba da ba da da do 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 ba da bo bo. Da 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 ba ba da ba do ba 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 do 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 do. La da 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 dee dee do. La da 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 do da do 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 do. Do da do do do. Do da do do. Bo ba do bo bo. Bo ba do bo bo. Do 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 do. I mean, I had a Roblox network connection error. What? Why does Fortnite always have so many issues? Tell me that, guys. Am I the only one that experiences these issues? Am I the only one? Well, I feel like it. We're almost to 8,000 subscribers, guys. That's crazy. Crazy times, crazy, 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 crazy times, crazy, crazy, crazy. La da down, do 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 da ba ba do do boo boo. Bum 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 do 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 do. Okay, let's do it. Increased damage. Okay. Increased damage. I can do that. I like the sound of that. All right, let's go. Crap. Oh, goodness. Well, that didn't go according to plan. So return to the lobby. Yo, what's up, man? Balan, Bat Dave? Balan, how you doing, man? How's it? Why are all these pop-ups popping up? All these pop-ups, guys. YouTube. I want YouTube. Was this the press conference? I think this was the press conference. Yeah, so we're gonna tune into this real quick, guys. Give me a second here. Give me a second to adjust some things. I'm doing good, man. Breaking. White House press. News. Give me a second. Reaction. White. What else do I want? Oh, we'll do that one. Commentary. Commentary. What else? Shorts. Okay, there we go. And we're going to change that to blogs. Change. You guys still with me? You're still with me here? Where's that one picture? What is that one picture I always put? There we go. Boom. Save and I do remember you, man. And I'm playing with channel members at the moment. So if you want to become a channel member, you can click the link in the chat. But we're going to react to this White House press briefing real quick because I haven't watched this and I'm kind of curious what's been going on lately. So this is from Fox News. So we're just going to hit the play button and see what's up. So let's go, boys. Excuse me. Let's go, boys. Let's go. We're just waiting for it to start. I think she comes out in a second. There she is.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yep.
Hope you all had a great weekend. I want to start by addressing the devastation from the tragic flash floods in Texas. Moments
I heard
ago,
it was pretty
the
bad in
Department
Texas.
of Homeland Security provided an update that 91 innocent souls have now perished. Everyone here at the White House, including the President of the United States, is praying for the victims' families and friends during this unimaginable time. President Trump swiftly signed a major disaster declaration for Kerr County, Texas, to ensure our heroic first responders have every resource they need in the relief and recovery efforts. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem traveled to Texas over the weekend, and the entire Trump administration is working hand in glove with state and local officials to provide every assistance available. The situation on the ground remains dangerous, and there could be additional public safety threats with potential incoming heavy rain. So we encourage everyone in the area to remain vigilant, listen to all warnings,
It's
and
crazy what
respond
rain
accordingly.
can do.
Unfortunately, in the wake of this once-in-a-generation natural disaster, we have seen many falsehoods pushed by Democrats such as Senator Chuck Schumer and some members of the media. Blaming President Trump for these floods is a depraved lie, and it serves no purpose during this time of national mourning. Here are the facts. In the lead up to this tragic natural disaster, the National Weather Service did its job. Despite unprecedented rainfall, the National Weather Service executed timely and precise forecasts and warnings. On July 3rd, the National Weather Service office in Austin, San Antonio, Texas, conducted forecast briefings for emergency management in the morning and issued a flood watch in the early afternoon.
Yeah, people are trying to blame
flood warnings were also issued on the night of July
the weather
3rd
guys.
and in the early morning of July 4th,
People
giving
are, how you doing, man?
preliminary lead times of more than 3 hours before flash flooding conditions occurred.
They sent out the notifications.
The
It just
Service
happened
office
super
in New
fast.
Braunfels, which delivers forecasts for Austin, San Antonio, and the surrounding areas, had extra staff on duty during the storms, despite claims of the contrary.
Doing good, man.
So
it's just
to
my day
any
off,
person
so
who has
we're playing some
deliberately
Fortnite
lied
and keeping
about
up with
these
the
facts
news.
surrounding this catastrophic event, you should be deeply ashamed. At this time, the administration's focus will be on giving the victims and their communities the support they deserve during these recovery efforts in this tragic time. May God bless the great people of Texas, especially the parents who have lost their children. President Trump loves you. We are praying for you, and he will be traveling to see you later this week. Moving along to some further scheduling announcements. Tonight, President Trump will host the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, for dinner, where they will
so
discuss
Netanyahu's
the
coming to the
positive
White House again?
developments
Okay.
taking place in the Middle East region.
We'll see
Tomorrow,
if
the president will host his 6th cabinet meeting.
they can come
of
to
his second
some
term.
ceasefire with
Many of you
Gaza.
will be invited to cover that. And on Wednesday, the president will host leaders from 5 African nations for lunch in the state dining room. In other news, after the historic signing on the South Lawn of the White House on the 4th of July, President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill is now
One
the
big
law of
beautiful
the
bill.
land.
Yep.
Republicans in Congress met the once-in-a-generation moment and codified the Make America Great Again agenda into law. After this monumental achievement, no other president in modern history has worked harder and faster to fulfill their campaign promises than Donald Trump. The One Big Beautiful Bill will get the United States of America firing again on all cylinders. It's safe to say that over the past few weeks, the president has delivered on many, many wins. For the fourth month in a row, jobs numbers beat market expectations with nearly 150,000 good jobs created in the month of June.
It's a lot of new jobs.
The American economy has now added nearly 700,000 jobs since January 2025, with American-born workers accounting for all job gains.
Yeah, buddy.
President Trump drove illegal border crossings to another historic low in the month of June, and Border Patrol once again released 0 illegal aliens into our country.
0.
The Supreme Court stopped activist judges from imposing nationwide injunctions and cleared the way for President Trump to carry out his popular and common sense agenda.
Yeah, Mr. Music. When it's my day off, I have Monday and Tuesdays off. So during Monday and Tuesday, I can kind of stream throughout the day. Every other day, I kind of have to only stream at night because I work full time.
Giving the United States total access
How you doing,
to their
LF3?
Because of President Trump's
We're playing some Fortnite
American
and
energy
watching
dominance,
some
gas prices are at 4-year
some of
lows.
this news
And
briefing
when
that happened
adjusted
earlier.
for inflation, gas prices are near the lowest levels we've seen in the last 20 years. NATO members agreed to raise defense spending to 5% of GDP, a foreign policy feat long thought impossible until President Trump made it happen. The Operation Midnight Hammer obliterated Iran's nuclear capabilities,
Midnight
taking
Hammer,
out this
what a
imminent
name.
national security threat, not just to the United States, but to the entire world.
Operation
The
Midnight
president secured
Hammer.
a ceasefire between Israel and Iran, ending the 12-day war. The president brokered a historic peace agreement between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Pakistan nominated President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize in recognition of his decisive diplomatic intervention to prevent a nuclear war between India and Pakistan. Blue-collar wage growth has seen its largest
100%.
increase in nearly 60 years, and President Trump has defeated Joe Biden's inflation crisis with core inflation at the lowest level since March of 2021.
Yeah,
and just
buddy.
about all of that has happened in the last 3 weeks, and I know you all know it because
crazy
you've been
stuff.
very busy here covering it along with us.
Crazy
So
stuff
with that,
right
I will
there.
take your questions today as we kick off another
Oh, it's my
very
favorite
busy
part
week
when
here
she
at the
takes
White House.
questions. This
We'll
is the
lead
best
with
part,
our new
guys.
media seat, Brian Glenn, who is, of course, very present in this briefing room. He's put in a lot of hours covering this president, so we're glad you finally have a seat today. Brian, go ahead.
It feels great to sit down. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I want to go back to the hurricane. You said that President Trump is scheduled to go to Texas later this week. Can you speculate on what day and what he has plans?
Sure. The White House is currently arranging those travel plans. We hope that it will be later this week, likely on Friday, but of course we want to do it at the most appropriate time on the ground for state and local officials. We don't want to interrupt the recovery efforts, but we're planning tentatively for a Friday trip, and when that becomes final, we'll let all of you know, as we always do.
And you gave a little bit of reaction earlier, but
Okay,
the
okay.
National Weather Service, the union, actually publicly stated they had an adequate staff on hand to forecast and predict the storm. You shared your thoughts earlier on how the way the left has really weaponized this to blame the deaths in Texas on Trump. Want to comment on that again?
Yeah, I just do think those comments are depraved and despicable, especially when so many Americans are mourning the loss of their children. The National Weather Service, as I said, did its job. Many experts, many meteorologists have said that. Many of you in the media, in all fairness, have said that as well. Unfortunately, not all. And many Democrat elected officials are trying to turn this into a political game, and it is not. This is a national tragedy, and the administration is treating it as such. We know the National Weather Service provided early and consistent warnings. They gave out timely flash flood alerts. There were record-breaking lead times in the lead up to this catastrophe. There is ongoing flood monitoring, and these offices were well staffed. In fact, one of the offices was actually overstaffed. They had more people than they need. So any claim to the contrary is completely false, and it's just sad that people are pushing these lies.
Can I just get one more?
Sure.
Kind of a little bit of breaking news. The Department of Homeland Security is moving to end the TPS status on Honduran and Nicaraguan migrants.
Yes.
Any plans to adding additional countries that you could be targeting? Just a reaction.
Sure. Well, I won't get ahead of the Department of Homeland Security on additional countries, but as you pointed out, they did end temporary protective status for Nicaraguans and Hondurans in this country because TPS, temporary protective status, is temporary by definition. It is not meant to be
Temporary,
a permanent path
guys.
to
It's
residency
temporary.
or citizenship here in the United States of America. It was originally granted to Nicaraguans following a natural disaster in 1999. That doesn't sound very temporary to me. And as well as Hondurans in 1999 after the impact of Hurricane Mitch in 1998. And so this administration is doing what it promised to do. And if individuals from these countries want to come here, they have a legal pathway.
A legal
but
way. You
temporary
gotta do it
protected status
legally.
Was never meant to be permanent.
You wanna
The previous
come? Gotta do it
administration
legally.
Abused this status and this parole program, essentially.
No more
treating it
breaking
as
the
such,
law.
And we're not going to tolerate
Cutting
that.
the line. Nope.
Thank you, Brian.
Not
Megan.
happening.
Secretary Bessent said yesterday that countries will boomerang back to the April 2nd tariff level starting August 1st. Why did the president decide to have those tariffs not take effect Wednesday as originally scheduled? And then I was also wondering if you could share, obviously we saw the letters the president sent out on Japan and South Korea, but if any other major U.S. trading partners are getting letters today.
Sure, yes, I can confirm. In fact, I have those letters. If you could get me the
A lot of
photos
letters
the
going out, guys.
they're
Those
right in
tariffs
the
are gonna
previous
kick in
office.
soon.
I have the signed
Lot of
letters that went out
tariffs.
to both South Korea and Japan today. And there will be approximately 12 other countries that will receive notifications and letters directly from the President of the United States. And weeks ago, I stood at this podium and I told all of you that the President was going to create tailor-made trade plans for each and every country on this planet. And that's what this administration continues to be focused on. The president will also sign an executive order today delaying the July 9th deadline to August 1st. So the reciprocal tariff rate or these new rates that will be provided in this correspondence to these foreign leaders will be going out the door within the next month, or deals will be made. And those countries continue to negotiate with the United States. We've seen a lot of positive developments in the right direction.
What do you guys think about all this? Let me know in the chat.
And his trade team want to cut the best deals for the American people and the American worker. That's what they're focused on. And in the effort of transparency, these letters will continue to be posted to Truth Social. So you can enjoy them yourself. Go ahead.
Thanks, Caroline. Just about the visit of Prime Minister Netanyahu today, I was just wondering why that is not open to the press. Previous visits by him, we've had Oval Office press conferences. Does that reflect somehow the kind of sensitivity of this particular visit?
No, they're having a private dinner. There's many important matters that are obviously ongoing in the region, as you know. The utmost priority for the president right now in the Middle East is to end the war in Gaza and to return all of the hostages.
Not everything
Also,
has
as
to
you
happen
know,
in front of
there
the
was a
camera for
ceasefire
things to
proposal
happen.
That Israel
you know.
supports that was sent to Hamas, and we hope that
I
they
don't
will
think
agree
Biden
to this
ever had
proposal.
any
We want to see all of the
let any
hostages
reporters
released.
in.
That's on the top of the president's mind, so that will be discussed, as well as the many other positive developments we've seen in the Middle East. I want to go back to the trade deals. As you see, we have these beautiful letters that the president has signed. This one is to the President of the Republic of Korea, original signature on that, and these will be mailed. And then here we also have another letter to the Prime Minister of Japan as well. Both countries will be receiving a 25% tariff rate effective on August 1st.
25%. All right.
Thank you so much. You said it.
25%. Ka-ching.
See an end to the war in Gaza. Will he give guarantees during this 60-day period of ceasefire that actually the war will end? Because this is a sticking point with Prime Minister Netanyahu, and I'm wondering if they see eye to eye on this point. And how do you see the next day? What the next day in Gaza will look like?
Look, right now the president is focused on today and to get the Hamas to agree to this ceasefire. I don't want to comment on the details of the arrangement out of respect for these negotiations, but a agreeable and appropriate ceasefire proposal has been sent to Hamas. And I can also tell you Special Envoy Witkoff intends to travel to Doha later this week, where he will continue to engage in these discussions. And the Qataris and the Egyptians have been incredibly helpful partners in mediating these negotiations and discussions to bring peace to this region and end this conflict once and for all. Kristen.
Two questions. Thank you, Carol.
Sure.
The first question is President Trump reconsidering his plan to phase out FEMA, given what officials have said is their critical role on the ground now in Texas?
Look, the president wants to ensure American citizens always have what they need during times of need. Whether that assistance comes from states or the federal government, that's a policy discussion that will continue. And the president has always said he wants states to do as much as they can, if not more. And in the case of Texas, the state and local officials are doing a tremendous job. And I know the president, Secretary Noem, and the federal government are very proud to be working with them. And the president has promised to give Texas the assistance that they need during this tragic time.
Just one follow-up on cuts overall. Over the weekend, President Trump
How you doing,
said
Michael?
that Elon Musk was a train wreck. Are there, given this current viewpoint, are there concerns
What up, Michael? How you
within the White House
doing?
or from the president himself over the cuts that happened?
We're watching the
under
White House
Musk
press
on the
briefing that
Biden
happened
Doge,
today.
including the National Weather Service?
I think
She's
I've already
taking
addressed that,
questions.
Kristen,
My
and what I
favorite
can
part
tell
of
you
the-
is that
of the
these
show.
offices were fully staffed. The San Angelo office was fully staffed with 12 forecast meteorologists. There were no vacancies. The San Antonio office was operating with 11 forecasters. And as Brian said, the union themselves said that there was adequate staffing. So I think those words speak for themselves, and the numbers speak for themselves. This was a once-in-a-century flash flood, a tragic
Thank you for the
natural
thumbs up, by the
disaster,
way,
and
guys.
administration is
Appreciate
doing
it.
all that we can on the ground to help these families during this time of need. Jeff.
Thanks very much, Caroline. Just following up on Kristen's question, is it still the president's plan to phase FEMA out by the end of this year?
I just answered Kristen's question for you.
And one more, hold on, one more.
Sure, I'll give it to you. Go ahead.
The follow-up on trade as well. 12 more letters coming, you said. Can you give us a sense of which countries?
We're sending out the
I'll let
letters,
the
boys.
president,
They're
reveal
getting
those
the
in very
trade
due
deal
time. Keep your
letters.
eyes on Truth Social. Michael in the back.
Thank you, Caroline. An armed shooter today was shot in McAllen, Texas, after opening fire on Border Patrol agents. Comes just days after Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal recently said she gets, quote, inspired when activists obstruct ICE. Does the White House expect Democrats to tone down their rhetoric in light of what we saw today in
I
McAllen?
think they expect it, but they're not going to.
Call on Democrats to tone down their rhetoric.
How you doing,
against
best of all
ICE
time?
and
How you
Border
doing,
Patrol
man?
Agents who, again, are everyday men and women. I would encourage AOC and other Democrats to actually meet with the United States Border Patrol. These are honorable Americans who are just simply trying to do their job to enforce the law. They
Doing
go home
pretty
to
good.
their families every
Little bit
night, just
sleepy.
like we all do, and they deserve respect.
Need some coffee.
And dignity for trying to enforce our nation's immigration laws and to remove public safety threats from our communities.
Is that happening,
The White House is aware of the shooting
soon,
that took
or did that
place
already happen?
today in Texas, and we are working with the
got
appropriate
Fortnite
federal
on in the
agencies
background.
to get to the bottom of what happened.
Caroline, the DOJ and FBI
I was playing
have
it right
concluded
before
there
this,
was no
news
Jeffrey
conference.
Epstein client list. What do you tell MAGA supporters who say they want anyone involved in Jeffrey Epstein's alleged crimes to be held accountable?
This administration wants anyone who has ever committed a crime to be held accountable, and I would argue this administration has done more to lock up bad guys than certainly the previous administration. And the Trump
True
administration
story.
is committed to truth and to transparency. That's why the
Did
Attorney
anybody like
General
Joe
and the
Biden?
FBI
Are there any
director,
Joe Biden fans
pledged
out there?
at the president's
I was not a
direction
fan.
to do an exhaustive
And Kamala? Oh,
review of
Lord.
all of the files related to Jeffrey
Oh,
Epstein's
no, no,
crimes
no, no,
and
no.
his death. And they put out a memo in conclusion of that review. There was material they did not release because, frankly, it was incredibly graphic and it contained child pornography, which is not something that's appropriate for public consumption. But they committed to an exhaustive investigation. That's what they did, and they provided the results of that. That's transparency.
Follow up on that,
Sure.
Caroline. Okay, so the FBI looks at the circumstances surrounding.
I think that's Peter Ducey talking.
Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back
talking
and
about
look at
Biden?
what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox
I've
News.
got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was
What?
saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the FBI and the Department of Justice, they are more than committed to ensuring that bad people are put behind bars. They have an investigation going on right now called Summer Heat, which has our murder rate trending in the lowest direction in United States history.
That's
Their
good.
emphasis on violent crime and locking up violent criminals has led to to the arrest of 14,000 violent criminals. That's a 62% increase from the same time period last year. So this Attorney General and the
62%
FBI
increase.
Director are committed to putting bad people behind bars where they belong. They promised an exhaustive review. That's what they did. For any further details, I would refer you to the Department of Justice.
Thanks, Caroline. With Prime Minister Netanyahu visiting the White House today, yesterday the president said that he was working on a more permanent deal with Iran, but several days ago he didn't think one was necessary. What changed?
Well, when you asked me about this, or when you all asked me about this several weeks ago, I said the president thought maybe an Iran deal was not necessary, but of course the president is always interested in
If you're just
peace
joining
and
us, guys, we were
diplomacy.
watching the
That
press
remains
briefing
true.
that happened at the White House
and the
earlier today.
administration continues to be in contact, both directly and
Got any
indirectly
comments?
with
Drop them in the
Iranian
chat.
government.
Metal Man, how you doing, man?
Tariffs. You're now delaying.
Sounds really sketchy with the Epstein
August
stuff. How does all these
1st.
supposed
Is that
damning
an
evidence of all of a
acknowledgement
sudden
that
mean
perhaps the
nothing?
administration has made it more difficult to negotiate these trade deals? Have 90 deals in 90 days.
No,
I don't know, I
it's an
think maybe
acknowledgement
just
that
people
this
over the years just
administration is
built it
doing
up to
what's
be more
best
than
for
it
the
actually
American
was.
worker, and we want the best
Maybe I'm
deals
wrong, but-
possible for our workers, for our manufacturing base, for our middle class, and they are doing this deliberately and appropriately on behalf of our country's interests. Josh.
A couple more on the tariffs. You said about 12 more letters.
I don't know if
From
we'll ever really know.
5 or so countries, including the EU as a bloc, that were facing this tariff increase. All of those, to understand you correctly, are now deferred to August 1st, right?
Correct.
And on the 12, what happens with the remaining, whatever it would be, 40 something?
So just 12 today. There will be additional letters in the coming days.
So all of them are going to get a letter at some point?
Correct.
Okay, and can you tell me why he decided to start with South Korea and Japan? Are they annoying him?
It's the president's prerogative, and those are the countries he chose.
And on the sectoral tariffs, it's our understanding that these continue to be a separate track. We're still waiting on a bunch.
But I mean, I guess we'll never really know unless we become president.
For instance, semiconductor tariffs and other things that are still in the hopper.
I don't have a timing update, but for where they are in the process, I would defer you to the Department of Commerce.
Should we expect deals finally as well? He announced this Vietnam deal. Are you close on any other country?
The president and the administration, yes, we are close. But again, the president wants to ensure these are the best deals possible. And I would add just one more thing on trade and tariffs to wrap it up. Look at the extensive work this president has put in to cutting
Extensive
these deals
work.
and doing what's right for the American
True,
worker.
true.
He is literally looking at the map and looking at every country on the planet and seeing where they are ripping off the American people, seeing where they have hollowed out our industrial base, seeing where
I think they
our
probably have
jobs
more
gone
trust
to
now,
other
but-
countries overseas because of their tariff policies, and he's trying to correct
Biden
that.
didn't,
This is decades of bad trade policy
the
that has
FBI and
led
CIA
to a
any favors,
deficit
that's for
that is
sure.
ravaging our country, that is ravaging our middle class, and the president is taking a very deliberate approach to correcting this wrong of many decades, of many past presidents. And so I think he should be commended for the time and the effort that he is putting into this. And the fact that he has announced a framework with China, a trade deal with
Very true.
with the United Kingdom, a trade deal with Vietnam, and many others to come in just a matter of 6 months is truly historic, and it's a testament to this president and his trade team who are working around the clock to get this done. Sure, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Caroline. Two questions on Iran. What's the permanent deal with Iran looks like for the president, and what issues related to Iran should it cover? And secondly, has the president seen the interview with Iranian president, which he says that the United States president, Mr. Trump, is capable enough to guide the regions toward a peace and brighter future, and put Israel in its place, or it gets more into conflict? Has the president seen these comments, and what's his reaction to these comments?
I'm not sure if he's seen those comments, but certainly I think it's true that the president is the right man for the job to move the direction, this region into the direction of peace and stability for the future. That's what he and his national security team
I think
are working
it's
on
got to be
every day,
a
and
lot
we've already
less
seen
corrupt
historic
now
achievements
than
in
it
that
was under
direction.
Biden, though, because I know they fired a lot of people. A lot of people
In the
left.
back. Kelly, go ahead.
Great.
Sure.
It's obviously not
And
going to
then
be
in front of
100%
you.
Couple questions for you. First,
kosher, as they say, but
first
I feel
question
like
on the flooding in
it's
Texas.
got to be
And
better
there has
now
been
than it
some concern
was.
About the timing of the alerts, knowing that they did go out, but the warnings coming out in the wee hours. So while many people
No
were
agency's
sleeping,
perfect, though, obviously.
Can you share just details what you know about why those warnings were sent while people were likely sleeping, and then what the administration is doing to ensure that these alerts come out sooner?
Well, the alerts imminently were sent out before the flood when people were sleeping because the flood hit in the very early hours of the morning. So people were sleeping in the middle of the night when this flood came. That was an act of God. It's not the administration's fault that the flood hit when it did. But there were early and consistent warnings. And again, the National Weather Service did its job. On July 2nd, there were initial notices of potential weather and flooding.
The Democrats
risks
just like to
were
blame
issued.
people.
On July 3rd, escalating warnings throughout the
They're
day.
like, oh,
with
it's
flood
Trump's
watch
fault this
issued
flood
at
happened.
1:18
But then when there
p.m.
was, you know,
And then
all the
later
flooding
on,
under
at
Biden,
6:10 p.m. on July 3rd,
they're like,
the
oh,
Weather Prediction
well,
Center warned of excessive
we don't know what
rainfall
happened.
and a high likelihood of flash flooding. At 6:22 p.m. July 3rd, National Weather Center issued a hydraulic warning, highlighting considerable flooding risks, including in Caryville County. And then there were the timely flash flood alerts at 11:41 p.m., 1:14 a.m., and then another flash flood emergency warning issued at 4:03 a.m. just before the flood hit. So those were all of the warnings that went out to the affected area and region.
Call of Duty Masters, welcome back, man.
Go for it.
I heard something about considering amnesty if he does it. I don't know if he'd actually do it.
There's a report circulating that the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation provided a proposal to the White House to build these so-called humanitarian transit areas inside and outside of Gaza. The GHF is insisting it has nothing to do with that proposal. Can you shed any light on whether the White House has received such a proposal, and if so, from whom?
I'm unaware if a proposal from the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation was sent to the White House. I haven't seen it, but I can ask our National Security Council.
And also a document circulating that
I have
the White
Fortnite
House
running in
is
the background,
prepared
man,
to
but
lift
I'm only
the
playing
Foreign
with the
Terrorist
channel members at the
Organization
moment.
designation
So
from HTS
click the link in the chat if
put
you
by
want to
President
become a channel
Al-Shara
member and
in
play later.
Syria. Can you confirm that that's taking place?
Again, I haven't heard that, or I'm not aware of that action taking place. As you know, we did lift particular sanctions on Syria, but we did leave them on for particular terrorist groups. If that has changed, we will, of course, let you know if there's a change in policy, but I'm unaware of
Whose
what
hand
this
is
time.
that? There's somebody's hand right there.
Me? Hi, Carolyn. Thank you. Ahead of
And you can go too, since you're so eager.
ahead of the president's meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu today, is there a scenario where Israel has made it clear that they will not bring an end to this war until Hamas is decimated? And the president just 5 months ago suggested a potential takeover of Gaza. Is there a situation where tonight the two men will change their posture, and in the scenario that Hamas turns over the remaining hostages, that the war could come to a permanent end, and that they will seek that under that scenario that they would essentially try to bring this war to a permanent end beyond just that 60-day ceasefire?
Again, you're putting a hypothetical situation in the air, so I don't want to comment on that out of respect for these ongoing negotiations and discussions that are taking place. But as for the takeover of Gaza,
If you're brand new to the channel, guys, drop a comment down below.
Rebuilding of Gaza once this war is over. This has become an uninhabitable place for human beings, and the president has a big heart. He wants this to be a prosperous, safe part of the region where people and families can thrive, and there will be a need for a real rebuilding effort when the time comes. But right now we need to end this war, and we need to bring all of the hostages home. The president is adamant about that.
The war tonight?
Look, again, I will let the president speak for himself later if he decides to comment on the details of the agreement, but out of respect for the discussions, I won't do that from the podium. Go ahead.
Excuse me.
Congressman Lawler and Gottheimer have introduced a bill in Congress, the Bunker Buster Act, that would allow the United States to sell B-2 bombers and bunker buster bombs to Israel. Is that something the president would support?
Interesting.
Well, I don't know if the president's
The
aware of the
Bunker
Bunker
Buster
Buster Act,
Act.
but I will ask him and see what his opinion on that is. I'm not sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline.
Exogen? Did I pronounce your name? X-Engine?
Axios reported today, I believe, that
Welcome to the
Democrat
stream.
lawmakers were saying their constituents are calling on them to be more violent when they go to ICE facilities, including, I believe, they want them to shed blood, and that they said that Democrat lawmakers should be willing to get shot themselves. Can you respond to that, and do you have concerns that any of these lawmakers might act on the wishes of their constituents?
It's hard to believe anyone with morals in this country or decency would say such a thing. Obviously, the White House condemns that rhetoric, and we condemn violence of any kind.
Zengen.
This administration is
okay.
simply trying to enforce our laws, and we must be a nation of law and order. You cannot simply waltz across our border and live here illegally and expect to stay. We are going to enforce our nation's laws, and the men and women who are
Laws
doing
exist
that are
exist
doing
for a
so
reason.
in a respectful way. They are
They
doing so within
exist
the
for a
confines of the
reason,
law,
ladies
they
and
are just
gents.
trying
They
to do their
can't just
job,
skip the
and we
line.
condemn any violence or any calls for violence of any kind against any American. Go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline. I wanted to ask you if...
I was not calling on you, but you can go ahead. It's fine. There's a lot of people in here today.
President Trump
Sure.
already saw the letter that the Colombian president Gustavo Petro sent him, apologizing for his comments a few weeks ago, suggesting that there was an involvement from the U.S. government in an alleged coup d'etat in Colombia. And Secretary Rubio recalled the U.S. Chargé d'Affaires in Colombia. Did President Trump saw that letter, and what do you think about the comments from President Petro suggesting that the U.S. has some kind of involvement in a coup?
I'm not sure if the president has seen that letter, but I can check with him in the National Security Council. We will get you a response if you follow up with my team. We will find out for you. Sure, go ahead. Iris, go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, Caroline. On two topics. First,
I
on
love how
tariffs.
excited everyone is on Monday. Yes, Raquel, you can go after.
On two topics. First, tariffs. The president announced last night
With the
that any
suspicious-looking
countries aligning
salmon?
themselves with the
Where do you live?
policies of BRICS will be charged with an additional 10% tariff. Can you tell us more details on that? What specific policies is the president talking
How a
about
salmon
here?
looks suspicious
What
is
policies
beyond
should
me.
countries stay away from to avoid being subject to additional tariffs?
Sure. Well, the president feels
I mean, if you're
generally
walking down the
speaking
street with a
that BRICS is
fish,
seeking to undermine the
it's
interests
kind
of
of
the United
strange.
States. It's the president's
But
utmost responsibility to put the interests
I don't know why
of the
someone
United
would get
States
arrested
first.
for
That's
it.
how he views his job as president. So he's going to ensure that America is fairly
You live in
treated
the
on the
UK,
world stage.
okay.
And he'll take any action necessary to prevent countries from taking advantage of the United States and our people. Raquel, go ahead.
On illegal immigrants, Registrar Tom Homan told us this morning that ICE will have to arrest 7,000 illegal immigrants every day for the remainder of this administration to just catch the ones that were let in during the last administration. I'm wondering what the new resources and manpower, of course, given by the Big Beautiful Bill, which of course opens the door for ICE to hire additional 10,000.
Did you go fishing and that's why you were carrying a salmon, or you went to like the market and bought a salmon?
Arrest numbers going forward in upcoming months.
Sure. I'll let the Secretary of Homeland Security and her department speak on what they're looking for in terms of daily numbers. What I can tell you is I receive the daily reports each morning, and ICE is out there doing the jobs that they swore an oath to do, and they are removing public safety threats from our communities every day, and our country is becoming a safer place because of their efforts. And the One Big Beautiful Bill that is now law will give significant resources to ICE and Border Patrol to continue the tremendous work that they are already doing. And I think every American who wants to live in a safe neighborhood should be grateful for their efforts.
Thank you, Caroline.
Just
so much.
Raquel, and then I can go to you.
So much.
And then you, Dr. Harper.
Thank you, Caroline. It's a follow-up on the BRICS question. So does President Trump believe that the BRICS are getting stronger or trying to isolate the United States? And how close is he monitoring this summit that is taking place in Brazil right now?
He's closely monitoring it, which is why he put out a statement himself. He does not perceive these countries as growing stronger. He just perceives them as trying to undermine the United States' interests, and that's not okay with him, no matter how strong or weak a country may be. Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
As promised, yes, go ahead.
Does Trump have a vision for post-war Gaza? You mentioned, talking about now the ceasefire, but does he support permanent?
Yeah, you're
or-
just
or
joining us.
temporary
Welcome to the stream. We're watching the White House press briefing that happened earlier today.
A continued role for
Then we're going to go back to playing some Fortnite afterward.
to continue to operate in the Gaza Strip?
Well, as you know, because we've talked about it before, the president has directed aid to be moved into the region, and that has been taking place. You've actually seen people in the Gaza Strip yelling out, "Thank you, Trump," for the aid and for the meals that they have received, because the previous administration never did that for some reason. But this president, again, wants to see peace and stability in the region. So as I outlined previously, he views this part of the region as having a real chance at being peaceful and prosperous. But again, we need to end this war. We need to get all the hostages home, and Hamas needs to accept this proposal in order to do that. Dr. Harper, go ahead.
I'm Dr. Anthony Harper with the Intermountain Christian News. Thank you for taking my questions. Given the nature of the Palestinian Authority, they're paid as slave, teaching Jew hatred to children, corrupt leaders, and no elections for 19 years, who does President Trump support to govern Area A and Area B to prevent Hamas from ruling? And what is President Trump's position on Israeli sovereignty?
Sure. Well, the president believes Israel, of course, has a right to defend itself. As for the first part of your question, you're getting ahead, Dr. Harper. As I told you, the president wants Hamas to accept this proposal right now. He wants to see peace in this region, and he's committed to doing that. Sean.
Hey, Caroline, can you just please walk us through the decision to halt the supply of weapons to Ukraine at a time when Russia is really hitting Ukrainian cities and civilians? Was that the president who decided that, or did the Pentagon do it without his approval?
No, neither of those things are true. I'm happy to walk you through it. This was a standard review by the Pentagon of all weapons and all aid and all support that the United States is providing all countries and all regions around the world, not just Ukraine. When the Secretary of Defense took office, he directed the Pentagon to conduct this review to ensure that everything that's going out the door aligns with America's interests.
It's
So,
from deflecting
it's a
journalists'
pause to
dumb
review to ensure
accusations.
that
Exactly.
Everything the Pentagon is
How's it
pushing
going,
out
Ma?
there,
Start.
is in the best interest of our military and our men and women in uniform. Fran.
Two questions on Israel. You suggested that Hamas is the impediment currently to a ceasefire. So if not a ceasefire deal, then what does the president hope to achieve with tonight's dinner with the prime minister?
Again, you guys are getting around to a lot of
Maybe they're just
hypotheticals. I
hungry
don't
and they
wanna
want
get
to
ahead
eat
of the
dinner
president,
together.
but
Maybe
there
that's
are
all it
many
is.
other
They're like,
issues,
let's get
to
some
discuss
Mickey
with Prime
D's.
Minister
Let's get some
Netanyahu tonight
McDonald's.
related to the region and just the
They're not even
entire
going to talk
world.
about
So
anything. They're
this
just
will
going to
be
eat
a dinner
McDonald's.
to talk about Operation Midnight Hammer, which was incredibly successful, to talk about peace in Gaza and ending that conflict, as well as many other topics of discussion in relation to Israel and the United States. Sure, go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline. Given the fact, this is on the trade letters, given the fact that the president put into effect the tariffs on April 2nd and then put the pause into place, is the president at all concerned that these countries that are receiving the letters won't take them seriously because the deadline seems to have shifted already and may shift again?
They will take the letters seriously because they have taken the president seriously, and that's why the president's phone, I can tell you, rings off the hook from world leaders all the time who are begging him to come to a deal. And this administration is working hard to ensure those deals are in the best interest of the American people. And this delay, again, is in the best interest of the American people. And you all will continue to see these letters released on the President's Truth Social, and we will see you all later. Thank you, guys.
And there it is, guys. Another press briefing. Booyah. That was from Fox News. Give it a little like, subscribed. Not too shabby, I must say. Not too shabby. Keep playing? Yes, I would like to keep playing. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Should we keep playing some Fortnite or should we watch something else news related? Tempting, tempting, tempting. Okay, let me see here. Let me go to news. Actually, let me go to home. And then I'm going to go to news. What's happening at the moment? For dinner at the White House. Is this happening right now? Oh, this was streamed 7 minutes ago?
Representatives, and we're going to work together with them. And we have been working really very hard. This whole table has been working. That was a terrible event. Terrible event. You saw that maybe where Texas was just absolutely so badly hurt by something that was a big surprise late in the evening. So we'll be working with the governor and all of the people of Texas. We'll be going on Friday.
Mr. President, there was a security incident in northern Gaza today, right around the time that the Prime Minister was meeting with Secretary of State, Mr. Steve Witkoff. Does that, a number of IDF soldiers reportedly have been injured, possibly killed, does that in any way put a wrinkle in ceasefire negotiations with Hamas?
I don't think so. They want it. They want to meet and they want to have that ceasefire. So I don't think so. Steve, could you respond to this? You know about it?
Well, I think it's terribly unfortunate. Terribly unfortunate. We were just talking about it, how tragic it is, but we have an opportunity to finally get a peace deal, Mr. Prime Minister, as we discussed.
Where is, what's his name? Where's J.D. Vance? Is he on, like, vacation with his kids right now? I thought I saw him post something about he's, like, on vacation. He went to, like, Mount Rushmore. I think that's where he is.
We're always subject to negotiate something that's fair, but we've talked to most of the countries, and pretty much they've had their way for many, many decades, as you know. And it was time that we just wanted fairness. This is not really equitable from our standpoint because it's just a small token by comparison to the damage that's been done over the years. But we had no other president that was willing to do this. I did it in my first term with China and others. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars of tariffs. No inflation, the most successful period of time that we've ever had financially in the country. The first term. I think this term is going to be much better, even much better than that. That was the best ever, and this is going to be, I think, substantially better.
The best ever, and this is going to be
that.
the even more bestest
We've
ever.
already taken in over $100 billion worth of tariffs, and we haven't even started. And all I say to the other countries is, you know, some of them wanted to make a deal and want to be fair. Others perhaps got a little bit spoiled. They were a little bit spoiled because for 30, 40 years, 50 years, they were taking advantage of the country. So we're going to, I would say final, but if they call with a different offer and if I like it, we'll do it.
And the August 1 deadline, I mean, is the August 1 deadline firm now? Is that it?
I would say firm. No, I would say firm, but not 100% firm. If they call up and they say, would like to do something a different way, we're going to be open to that. But essentially, that's the way it is right now, yeah.
Mr. President, is your Palestinian relocation plan still on the table? Is there a plan? Has there been any progress in finding countries to accept?
Bibi, why don't I let you answer that question?
Mr. President,
Wait a minute, wait, he's got to answer the question.
I think President Trump had a brilliant vision. It's called free choice. You know, if people want to stay, they can stay. But if they want to leave, they should be able to leave. It shouldn't be a prison. It should be an open place and give people a free choice. We're working with the United States very closely about finding countries that will seek to realize what they always say, that they want to give the Palestinians a better future. And those who, and I think we're getting close to finding several countries, and I think this will give, again, the freedom to choose. Palestinians should have it, and I hope that we can secure it close by.
And we've had great cooperation from surrounding Israel, surrounding countries, great cooperation from every single one of them. So something good will happen. Brian, did you have something?
Mr. President, you've mentioned before you want to go down as your legacy as the peacemaker.
They need to get better microphones. They don't really have any microphones in there, I don't think.
Well, I hope so. Look, we did a job with India and Pakistan and Serbia, Kosovo, and Rwanda, and the Congo, and this was all over the last 3 weeks or so, Marco, right? We did, and others.
What else we got, guys? Let me back up real quick. What else has been happening? What else has been happening in the news today? A lot of flooding. Dang, that's crazy. That is a lot of water. That's a lot of water, guys. That's a lot of water. Okay, we're going to hop back into Fortnite. But I'm going to take a break because I got to go grab some food, guys. So I'll be back in a bit. But thank you for watching. Thanks for popping in. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. And I will be back. Until then, keep calm and game on. Toodles.